The galaxy had never known mercy. Among the countless species that roamed its star lanes, survival was the only language understood, and compassion was often seen as weakness. For centuries, the Cthar, a once proud and ancient race, had ruled their part of the galaxy with steel and fire. But now they were broken. Their world, Tharvan, lay in ruins. What had once been an emerald jewel orbiting a blue star was now reduced to ash and rubble. The Council of Stars, a coalition of the most powerful empires, had turned its back on the Cthar after their fall from power. No planet would grant them refuge. No ally would extend a hand. The Cthar refugees drifted across the void in failing ships, scavenging what they could from forgotten trade routes. Among them was Virek, a young Cthar who had once been heir to a noble family. Now he commanded a battered transport vessel carrying hundreds of displaced souls. Their food was running out, engines sputtered, and despair hung over them like the shadow of a dying star. The final rejection came from the Arcath Dominion, the last hope for asylum. Their message had been cold and merciless. You brought this upon yourselves. The stars have no place for the weak. Die quietly. For weeks afterward, Virek stared into the void, wondering if death would be better than the humiliation of begging for mercy. It was then that a strange transmission reached them, a language they had never heard before, laced with urgency, compassion, and hope. The message came from Sol. Humanity had only recently emerged into the galactic stage. The other species viewed them as primitives, barely worthy of notice. But humans, as always, did not see themselves that way. They called themselves explorers, dreamers, survivors. And when they learned of the Cthara's plight, they made a decision that baffled the rest of the galaxy. They opened their doors. The Cthar were suspicious at first. Why would these strange, soft-skinned beings help them? What could they possibly gain? Yet the humans didn't ask for tribute or servitude. They simply sent coordinates, medical aid, and words that cut deeper than any blade. You are not alone. Come to us. We will help. Virek's ship limped into orbit around Earth's moon, escorted by human vessels. The sight of these ships, sleek, unassuming compared to the galaxy's grand war machines, was strange. But their actions spoke louder than appearances. Human engineers worked tirelessly to repair the Cthar ships. Their soldiers shared rations. Their doctors treated Cthar children as if they were their own. For the first time in generations, Virek felt something unfamiliar. Hope.it was not easy. The Cthar were proud and fierce, and many of them mistrusted humanity's generosity. They must want something, growled Kor, an old warrior who had fought in the Empire's last battles. No one gives without taking. Not in this galaxy. But as weeks turned to months, the humans continued to give technology, food, shelter, even parts of their own world. They converted barren stretches of Mars into safe colonies for the Cthar, teaching them how to cultivate the red soil, how to adapt. And then something extraordinary happened. The Cthar began to change. The same race that had once ruled by fear now learned the quiet strength of cooperation. Virek found himself working alongside human scientists, trading stories of their lost homeworld for knowledge of Earth's long, brutal history. He was shocked to learn how humans had risen from near extinction more than once, how they had survived endless wars, famines, and disasters, always emerging stronger. Your species is impossible, Virek told Commander Elena Cortez one night as they stood on the Martian plains, watching two suns set through the dust clouds. No one should endure as you have, and yet you do. Cortez smiled faintly. We don't endure because we're stronger, she said. We endure because we refuse to let each other fall. That's what it means to be human. News of humanity's compassion spread across the stars like wildfire. To the galactic powers, this act was an insult. They called humans reckless, naive, even dangerous. A coalition of alien empires sent warnings. Turn the Cthar away, or face consequences. Humanity's answer was simple and terrifying. A fleet of Terran warships, still primitive by galactic standards but bristling with raw determination, took formation at the edge of the solar system. The message they sent was not written in words, but in resolve. If you want them, You will have to go through us. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy hesitated. Something about the humans, something fierce and unyielding, made even the most powerful empires wary. Years passed. Under humanity's protection, the Cthar thrived. Their broken fleets were rebuilt, their children grew strong, and their culture, once drowning in despair, began to flourish again. But it was not just the Cthar who changed. Humanity, too, learned from their new allies. Together, they built ships that could outmatch anything the galaxy had seen before. The stars that had once rejected the Cthar now feared them again. But this time, they did not stand alone. They had humanity at their side. The moment of reckoning came when the Arcith Dominion, furious that the weak had found refuge, launched a fleet toward Sol. The combined Terran-Cathar defense stood waiting. Viarek, now commander of a warship built with both human and Cthar technology, looked across the bridge at his human co-captain. "Are you ready?" he asked. She grinned. "Always." When the first shot was fired, the galaxy understood a truth it had long ignored. Mercy is not weakness. Unity is not frailty. The Arcith fleet never made it past the asteroid belt.